All right, well, oh, sorry.
Oh, you.
I'm ready to go. Well, obviously very proud of our team today, very proud of our players. Thought they battled. A lot of credit to Texas. They played hard. I thought Sam played really hard at quarterback. Defense, they did some things defensively, and thought our guys did a nice job of adjusting. Really proud of our seniors. As I told them in there, 2 years ago we lost 6 games at home, and to now come back 2 years later and to win 6 games at home, I think it means a great deal. To play a Texas team that 2 years ago we couldn't do very much against, and to beat them, and it wasn't always pretty. That's what made it fun, though. It was just a grind it, tough, hard-nosed win. And I love the fact that our defense walked off disappointed at the end. They gave up the last touchdown. That speaks to who they are. Their competitors. It wasn't about the scoreboard. It was they wanted to hold them out of there. So really proud to know that senior group. Proud to know their parents. A lot of kids could have turned and run, but they stayed here, and they're leaving here having won 10 games, which is really hard to do in college football. And I know everyone's going to want to talk about other things and chances to playing games and all that. To win 10 games in college football is really, really hard. And to go 1-0 and to beat a school like the University of Texas in good fashion is hard. And so I'm really proud of them. I'm proud to know them. And as I told them, enjoy this tonight. Don't think about anything else, and wake up tomorrow and be ready for Kansas. So with that, John, I'll see if you have anything.
Yeah. You feel like that's your best defensive game of the year?
We've had a lot of good ones. I thought that was the best one all the way up until the end, though. Just the fact that we had that long run right before half and that last drive. But other than that, I thought just dominant. Allowed us, to run the football in the fourth quarter, just chew clock. And to me, the dominant is when you feel like, hey, we can run the clock. We don't have to try to go score again. We can take time with the clock. They're not going to be able to score against us. And we know that they have dangerous players. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Just we felt really good about the way we were playing. And just wanted to come out with a win. Just wanted to go 1-0 tonight. And I thought we played really hard, really well. Gave up no big plays. Gave up no big runs. And a lot of guys played. A lot of guys played tonight that haven't played. Christian Morgan changed positions and went and played Sam linebacker. He was out there in the second series. Josh Landry was playing nose tackle, hasn't played very much. Rob Solon played a lot of plays both ways. In modern college football, to be 10-1 and to be, we have a guy playing both ways. So I was really proud of those guys on defense. No, they just, but he got hit, and so the officials out there said, "Hey, take him out," and he was banged up anyway, and it just seemed like him and Xavier Newman. Doctors wanted to hold them, and there was no reason for them to go back out. And that was really good to get Gary some reps and for him to kind of learn. He ran out of bounds in the 4-minute drill, and he was the first guy who said, "I ran out of bounds," and so it was good to get those guys those reps. But I really don't have much of a feel for where he's at. Looked like he was okay. He was in the locker room with us. They're celebrating. So. I told our guys, I said, and I really felt like I said, make this game about this game right now. I will say, obviously, we're excited to have a chance to play one more. I told them, hey, good news and bad news and everything in life. You have to play one more game with me now. Like, there's one more Tuesday practice. There's one more week of meetings and all that. So for that, I'm proud. But I really don't want to, minimize what it means to beat Texas for us and how good of a football team that is. And they won the Sugar Bowl last year, and Sam Ehlinger's such a great player and a great defense. And they had been giving up some big plays in the passing game, but they're really good run defense. And for us to run the ball, things we haven't done, really pleased. So I just have so much respect for them that to beat them, I don't want our guys to let that go by. Because as I said earlier, 2 years ago, it wasn't a very pretty game. And last year was, 4 shots from the 20, and we couldn't get in. And so for us to win this year and win that way, running the football and playing defense at the end, I'm just really proud of the process of our players. That's what my whole message to our players is. You've done this because of your process, because of this didn't happen tonight. This happened, every morning over the last 2 years, and that 6 a.m. wake-up call or that 5:30 wake-up call. So all you young guys, understand what it took to get here and understand what we're going to expect of you moving forward. So obviously I'm happy to go play again, but I'm really happy that they found a way to get this one.
Matt, I think it's been a while since James Lynch have had a sack. He had 2 tonight, set the career record. How destructive was he?
I thought that was a function of a lot of guys. I thought Locke did a great job. Bravion did a great job. A lot of great coverage. And then getting a lead. Getting a lead allowed those guys to say, hey, we're going to make you one-dimensional. And we just kind of 3-man rushed. And, and I thought Sam did a great job stepping up, finding some guys, running sometimes. But, James got there twice. And James is just such a great, great, great young man. He's such a great player. He's working so hard. And, people will slide things to him and chip him and double him. And he doesn't complain. He just keeps working. And I was really proud of the whole D-line as a whole, even some of the young guys, Cheedy and TJ Franklin. Those guys went out there and played a lot of football tonight. We knew we couldn't have another 90-snap game on defense. And We knew we couldn't have guys play 80 snaps on the D-line, so we rotated a lot more early, and I thought it showed up with those guys having those sacks late.
Matt, what did you learn from Denzel Mims when he finished his career here? What did you learn from him this season?
Well, I just learned about him, I'd say. I think Denzel has come as far as any player I've ever been around. And my question about him, going back to the Texas game last year, the Texas game last year, he didn't play at the end of the game. He sore hamstring or whatever it was and didn't go out there and play. And on Monday they told me, we don't think Denzel's going to play. Well, Denzel went out and played tonight. He played. And I just think he's one of those young people that answers the call, man. He answers the challenge. You can challenge Denzel, and he steps up and he fights for it, and he finds a way to make it happen. And so, a lot of people see the finished product. A lot of the young players will see the finished product, but they won't see all the things he did to get there and all the hard days he had. So I'm just proud of him, proud of the fact that he found a way to play today. And, there was those older players, a lot of them whom they said, hey, we're not sure if he can go. I mean, like I said earlier, like Terrell had surgery on Monday and practiced on Tuesday, and he played pretty well tonight. Bravion, hey, we're not sure if he can go. He went. There's a lot of guys I'm really proud of.
Mims is one of those seniors that you talk a lot about the impact that he's had on this team with 3 different head coaches for some of them. And then you talk a lot about the foundation that the former senior classes have built for this team to finally get a senior night win. What does that mean?
It meant a lot to me. I had the seniors get up and take a lap around the field. I wanted them to remember that. I wanted them to remember not just that they won on senior day, but, the game that they won and, again, the way they played it. And, now we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to snap right back to reality and find all things we did wrong. But I just think that, as I said, this game and this win, it's 2 years in the making, 2 years of process, 2 years of one day at a time, 2 years of a grind. And so that doesn't mean we relax. That means the next 2 years have to be better. We've got to grind even more. But, it's like we're in the locker room when I see Mo Porter walking in. Obviously, we have Taylor. And, so I hope a lot of guys that sacrificed their senior year in 2017, or the guys that just fought to get us to a bowl game like Ira and Greg and X Jones and all those guys last year, I hope they take a lot of pride in seeing their guys saying, on the scoreboard that, we're going to go do something in 2 weeks, and got to 10 wins. And really not many people picked us to get to 10 wins. So that these guys overachieved based upon what people thought. So I'm proud of that.
Why do you feel like it's been so quick? Like you said, not a lot of people would have predicted.
Just a bunch of guys that worked. I mean, they worked. And they're good players. I mean, we got talented players. We've recruited well. I'll just say this to you. Recruiting is not rankings. Recruiting is not what people say it is. Recruiting is finding players who can play and put them in the right positions and develop them. So, sometimes people will talk about, I'll just say this, we know what we're doing recruiting. And we find good players. And we got a lot of good players. And, I mean, even like tonight, somebody small, like Yusuf Terry was out there playing as a freshman, redshirting. Not many snaps, but he's out there. But he's going to be something else. Quaylon Jones, I kept looking at him like, should I put him in? So we've got good players, and we'll have good players for years to come. But it's about getting the right good players, guys that want the grind and want to work. And we have those kind of kids. And so this has nothing to do with the coaching staff to me. This has to do with our players and the players that have decided to come, and their parents and families. A lot of parents and families either kept their kids here or made a decision to come here when there was a lot of noise going on or a lot of chatter. So, I think that to me is the story. It's all those little stories. It's the guys who walked on, that paid to be on the football team, that pay to go to school and contribute. So there's a lot of great stories like that. I'm proud to be a part of those guys.
Let's talk about the bounce back though from last week. Clearly disappointed last week when you guys had a problem for the early tonight. Just talk about.
Yeah, I think crazy things have a tendency to happen by seniors on senior night. So, Chris makes that great play. He's going to go score. He fumbles. Okay. Then Jamison, how many times do you see a corner get called for unabated to the quarterback? I've never seen it before. So I went into halftime, and I was kind of like, all right, we got it out of our system now, boys. Let's go play that play right before the half. I think there's something to all that, But, we're not one of those teams that, we're not up 45-0 all the time. I felt so comfortable, with it being 7-3 at halftime, knowing our guys would kick it in. So I think sometimes a senior night, guys got a little tear in their eye, and they do some crazy things early. But there was no doubt that our guys were over last week on Sunday. Like I said, we went to team chapel, and it's the first time we had done a chapel coming off a loss since I've been here, because we had never done it on Sundays before because we took Sundays off. And we walked in there. I wasn't sure how the music would go, and, it was boisterous. And I was like, okay, these guys, number one, they understand what's important. And number two, they're going to be ready to go.
Earlier this week, you talked about the importance of the punting being precise
How about Isaac today? Wow. I thought Isaac was awesome. Pinned them down inside, tight and good protection. And I thought our special teams were really good today. Noah kicked the ball in the end zone, I think, every time. But the punting game was really, really good.
Matt, sounded like you're a little hoarse. Is that from the game?
I've been sick for like 2 weeks. I've been sick for a while. So my voice has been like this. And once it gets like this, it's kind of there for a while, So, but I coached hard tonight. I tried to coach really, really hard tonight. I tried to make sure that I kept my energy up the entire game, and especially in the second half. And so, but now this is just being sick and being tired, but being really, really happy. And I ain't going to bed anytime early tonight, just for the record.
Well, how do you celebrate since you're sick?
I'm going to go home and be around my family and friends and my daughters. And Julie always caters in or cooks, and we go back and we celebrate as a family, win, lose, or draw. That's not like when if we lose a game, I don't come home and slam the door and go to bed. We celebrate no matter what. It's too hard, and but we won tonight, so I'm going to go home and celebrate. And it's early enough. I'm going to go watch some other people play. Let them watch someone else celebrate and watch someone else suffer. So.
And you talked about the first 5 minutes of that second half. The defense came out of that stop, and you guys went down and scored. Not that you were worried about it or thinking about last week, but how important was that stretch just to kind of?
Yeah, well, we talk about the middle eight, the last 4 minutes, and so we gave up a field goal in the middle eight, which we don't do. That was really frustrating. But I thought it was almost like cathartic, like get it out of our system. And I thought we went out there and defense played well. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes like someone makes a play on you, but you're like, okay, is that sustainable or not? Like, do they have us? They made a really nice run. Great play by Keontae. We got him down. We held him to a field goal, so be it. But I think we felt like, hey, we've got all we need. And they were doing some really nice things pressure-wise against us. I thought Sean Bell and Jeff said, hey, here's what they're doing. They drew it up, Glenn Thomas, and we made some adjustments, and I thought we had an answer for the rest of the game.
You guys learned from how you had the lead. It's a different style game, but when you had the lead pop open, do you feel like last week's second half is a learning experience with how they handled the fourth quarter?
I think last week's definitely was a learning experience. You can't. I think I was like, what was I before that? Like, as a head coach, I was like 38-0 when having a lead going in the fourth quarter, and as here it was like 17 or 19 or whatever, So we hadn't done it very often. So all I kept talking to the defense was, don't worry about the game, just get a fourth quarter shutout. And on offense, run the football. So we score. I think we scored, right? And then we scored to Denzel down there, right? And then we ran the football and got the win. Each game's different, so it's not like necessarily you learn something X's and O's wise. But I thought our guys were very comfortable in the fourth quarter, grinding it out. And, when you come to November, nothing should be easy. I was watching, before the game, I was watching the Ohio State-Penn State game. Nothing was easy. Nothing's easy when you come down to November and it's a really good team. That's a team that went to the Sugar Bowl, won the Sugar Bowl last year. That's a proud team that's lost some really close games. Nothing should be easy. You have to grind it out, and I thought our guys did that.
Couple more 5 plays, try to get the other team to jump. They hardly ever work. You not only got it to work, but you were.
Yeah. Yeah, we were gonna just punt the ball, so we tried to make them jump, and then they didn't jump, and then we tried it again, and they did jump, and then he threw the ball and he caught it. So really good poise by our guys, and we've never really actually done it like that, where we've actually re-signaled the same thing and tried to make them jump again, but it just felt like, let's take a shot, see if we can get him to jump, and then it kind of worked, and that's really hard on the center because he has to feel the guy almost come in the neutral zone. A lot of times we've done that, and the guy doesn't actually, he jumps but doesn't jump in the neutral zone, and really nice job by Tech, and then a great throw. And it's those plays, I think, are the ones that close games out, and those are the kind of plays to me that win big games is your discipline and your playmaking shows up at a really critical time.
Could have very well been walking out with the seniors today, but instead you guys convinced him to redshirt. He made a decision as well, and he's become a turnover machine for you guys. What kind of players he turned into?
He's something special, and the best thing is he's always working on what he's not good at to get better. You know what I'm saying? So he's not someone who just looks at his stats, and he's got. But there's something about recruiting guys who played point guard, who played basketball, who played offense. It's some of the things we lose nowadays with all the single sport athletes and guys playing one platoon football. I remember Coach Paterno used to talk about recruiting baseball players, guys who could track the ball. We love finding guys like him, and that's what Graylin was. People still talk about him playing basketball, and so he has such a great feel for adjusting to the ball, making plays on the ball. And really the biggest thing was, he wanted a red shirt last year. It was really him making the decision to move from corner into safety that not a lot of guys will do. And he's not 6'2", but we thought, and he thought, he could be a difference maker inside. And you look at, he was banged up there for a while, but you look at the turnovers he's created. And those aren't like gimmies. Like, he's not sitting on a curl. He's making big-time plays down the field, catching the ball. So I think that was critical tonight.
What was the atmosphere in the last one, post-game?
I think happy. I think, every game like this is a kind of uncharted territory. Like, are we supposed to be happy, Coach? So I think happy. I think also, though, hopefully the seniors, it meant a lot to them. And, sometimes when you have a lead, some of these games have come down the last second and you kick the field goal and it's like joyous, right? You had a lead and it's almost like, all right, fine, we found a way to get it done. And so, but I think really happy. And my challenge to them was don't look ahead 2 weeks from now. Enjoy this. And then tomorrow, let's get ready for Kansas. Let's go try to go 1-0 next week.